Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us for the next webinar in our What's New series. In today's webinar, we'll cover some of the newest features in Microsoft 365 that you can implement in your business, as well as covering some brand new features that are coming up in the next few months. Now, don't feel like you need to make notes or take it all in straight away. We'll be sending out a fact sheet with a recording of the whole webinar and a follow-up, later on today. So also, if you've got any questions throughout the webinar today, then please feel free to drop them into the Q&A box at the side at any time. I'll do my best to keep an eye on those as we go along, but there's going to be some dedicated time for questions at the end of the webinar as well. So the agenda for today. Real-time voice conversations are coming to Copilot. You will be able to keep working in offline mode while using New Outlook for Windows. Fix all spelling and grammar in one click using Copilot within Word. Sharing videos on SharePoint pages has been updated, and there's a redesigned workflows experience coming to Microsoft Teams. And then, of course, what's next? As always, it's good to see so many people coming back and joining us again, and welcome, of course, to all the new names and faces today. Let's start with an introduction to Bedroq. My name is Craig Mundy, and I'm the Digital Marketing Manager at Bedroq, and you might even recognize my voice from other videos on our website or YouTube channel. Now, Bedroq is an IT managed service provider and a Microsoft solutions partner for modern work. And this means that most of the IT that we implement is based on the Microsoft stack. So that includes things like Microsoft 365, Microsoft Teams, Azure, etc. But we're also experts in secure, resilient networks and managed IT solutions where high performance is critical. So we work with organizations that have some of the highest security requirements in the UK. We manage mission critical IT and operational technology for those highly regulated organizations. The most important thing that we want to achieve, no matter what it is that your organization does, is to make sure that your IT strategy is supporting your business as a whole. So we do that through the use of our 8 strategic rocks that you can see here on the slide. Data, skills, backup, strategy, investment, security, quality of service, and collaboration. The collaboration rock is the focus of this webinar series, as most of the Microsoft 365 apps that we're talking about are collaboration tools. And many people that we've come across have invested heavily into their IT. They've bought all the apps and they've got the best Microsoft licenses, but they're not using them to their full potential and therefore not seeing the return on investment either. So that's the aim of this webinar series, really, to keep you up to date with everything that's coming out and everything that you can start to implement that you've probably already got access to, and hopefully make a big difference to your business strategy. Bedroq also offers cybersecurity support. I'm sure we've all heard or read about cybersecurity attacks in the news, and we know that it's becoming more frequently done through social engineering. So that's through the manipulation of the humans on, say, the support desk to get passwords changed or to learn some details that might help the attackers gain access to the system. Recovery, however, from something like this can be lengthy and costly. So it's increasingly important for any organization of any size to be prepared, as these sorts of attacks are becoming more and more common. Now, as I've said, Bedroq has a lot of experience working with organizations with high security requirements. We have cybersecurity specialists who use these sorts of events as ways to improve our own systems and offerings. We're Cyber Essentials accredited, and we're part of the National Cybersecurity Centre Industry 100, meaning we have a lot of knowledge and guidance to share. So if you're looking to assess or better understand your cybersecurity needs and requirements, then please just get in touch. We can discuss best practice, consult on what your organization is doing to prepare, help you understand the why behind these sorts of attacks, as well as offering training to bring you and your team up to speed. Just drop myself an email or go through the contact page on our website, and we'll be happy to set up a meeting with our cybersecurity experts. Okay, into the updates for this month. So we're going to kick off with an update that's coming to Microsoft Copilot. Very soon, you will be able to have real-time spoken conversations with Copilot. Now, I know how this sounds, and perhaps it's a little bit of uncanny valley, and honestly, I sort of agree. However, this serves as an interesting alternative to the more standard typing-based interactions that most of us have with AI at the moment. This update will enable you to interact with Copilot just by using your voice, and you'll be able to interrupt or redirect the conversation at any time. And Copilot will, in theory, react and adjust accordingly. Now, you may have seen videos on social media of people doing something like this with other large language models. So you might have a bit of an idea of how these sorts of conversations go. And obviously, it's hard to say at this stage because I've not seen any demos of the Copilot version yet. But these videos that I've seen often have people trying to trip up the AI and you end up going in circles in the conversation. But I'm hoping that this Copilot update will be a bit more productive than that. So it may come more easily to some of us to be able to just speak our questions, listen and respond rather than having to type out everything, detailing exactly how we want them to respond, only to lose our train of thought part of the way through. And this will also perhaps help with focus or concentration, as you also won't need to read back through the potential wall of text that would come back as an answer to your questions. Perhaps even it could spark some ideas, as I know personally, I find it very useful just even to sit in a call and bounce some ideas around. So maybe Copilot can step in when your go-to colleague for these sorts of calls is busy, but you still need a little bit of help. Anyway, I think that this could be quite an interesting update. And as I always say, it lets you decide how you work best. So if you prefer typing, you can still just do that. And if you want to have more of a chat as such, then soon there will be that option as well. Now, how do you go about using this feature? Well, as you can see in the screenshot, it can look a little different depending on the platform that you're using Microsoft Copilot on. So if you're accessing it on your phone, you'll see it on the left. On the right, if you're on basically any other version, it'll look just slightly different. The main thing to focus on here is the voice chat icon in the bottom right corner of both of these input boxes. So when you click on it or tap on it, it will just start the voice conversation. And at this stage, like I said, I haven't seen a demo, so I don't know if Copilot will start the conversation with a hello introduction when you click it, or if it'll be a case of it'll just wait for you to start talking and ask your questions. Again, this is shaping up to be quite an interesting update, as it might be able to save us some time just generally, as we can think and speak faster than we can read and type. So perhaps you work from home. It could maybe allow you to be walking around with a wireless headset, working out a solution with Copilot while you make your lunch or you're hanging up the washing, for example. So this feature is going to be on by default, so everyone with a Copilot license should see it quite soon. The rollout of this update is actually due anytime now, so early September. However, it has already been pushed back a couple of times from about early August, I think. So we just need to keep our eyes peeled for that voice chat icon. Moving on, let's take a look at a feature that's coming to Outlook. For a while now, we've been able to use Outlook in offline mode. And when this option is turned on and you're using Outlook for Windows, it saves a copy of your emails, calendar events, and people, which was previously called contacts, to your device, providing access to these items when you're offline. And it also improves your performance when you're online. Oops. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of features that you can still access when you're in offline mode, meaning that you can stay productive while traveling, or your hotspot keeps losing connection, or even just when your internet's down in the flat, in the office, etc. You're all probably aware of this functionality, but perhaps didn't know the extent of the actions. And I have to admit that this list is more extensive than I had first assumed it as well. More than I was aware of. However, the main update that I'd like to tell you about is an action that isn't actually on this list as of yet. So users with the offline mode enabled within New Outlook for Windows will be able to attach files to your draft emails while offline. Your offline settings determine which items are going to be saved to your device and for how long. Now, to access these settings and set up your offline mode to suit your needs, head to your Outlook settings, General, into Offline, and then you can see the options like you see in this screenshot. Tells you a little bit about the settings, kind of what I've already just covered, as well as linking you to another Microsoft page that will tell you a little bit more. And here, as you can see, there's several settings that you can play around just to work out what's best for you. And at the bottom, you can see there's a setting specifically about attachments as well. Now, it's important to note here that the longer that you have items saved on your device, the more memory space it will take up. But you're able to set the number of days to be 7, 30, which is the default, 90, or 180 days. And then if you hit send while in offline mode, these emails, including attachments, will be sent automatically once the device reconnects to the internet. Additionally, when you're back online, New Outlook for Windows automatically updates any of the items that were saved on your device as well. It may seem like quite a small update in the grand scheme of things, but I know from experience that working while traveling can be frustrating as it is without being able to access all of the features that we're all used to. So I feel like it's good progress to see Microsoft adding some more features to help us stay productive while on the move or while the internet is down. There's still plenty of features like this one that are set to come to offline mode, but no real discussions or mentions of that at the moment. So we'll just have to wait and see what solutions Microsoft come up with. Now, this particular feature is due mid to late October. Up next, let's take a look at Copilot within Microsoft Word. Oh, sorry, just happened to spot a question coming in or a message coming in at the corner of my eye just there, and somebody's just saying that they assumed you could draft and send an email with attachments already. Well, I have to be perfectly honest, Carl. I thought the same until I came across this update, and so I thought it's quite useful to flag it to everyone else, just in case they're already under that assumption. Or perhaps maybe it's only available in the older version of Outlook, and they're trying to encourage you to go to the newer version. I'll have to do some checking on that one. But like I say, I'm going to move on to Copilot within Microsoft Word. Until recently, while using Word, you'll have found yourself proofing your own work or a document from a colleague, and you come across those little squiggly lines under each word or phrase that are being highlighted for checking. You'll right-click on each of them individually, assess the suggested change, click accept or ignore, and move on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Well, now Copilot is going to be able to fix all spelling and grammar, offering you a one-click, well, honestly, it's more like 2 clicks, way of simultaneously applying all grammar and spelling corrections within a highlighted section of text. You'll of course be able to review and undo any of these changes that you prefer not to keep as well. But for example, I think this should be a quick way of tidying up your notes from, say, a meeting that you've had where you've been asked last minute to be the note taker. And so you focused more on getting the information down, the main points, rather than necessarily going back and checking your spelling and grammar as well. So you can highlight all of that text that needs to be proofed and then let Copilot do the work. So you're able to then share a neat follow-up set of notes with your colleagues. It really is important, though, I think, that you make sure that your default language of your document is set to the right preference, as it's very, very easy for it to change into US English rather than the UK version or any other of your preferred languages that you're using. And this is especially likely if you've been copying or pasting information from different documents or websites as well, different sources. So once you've double checked that you're in the right language of your preference, you can highlight the text that you want to be proofed. It could even be the whole document. And then instead of right-clicking it, as you do in the example I just took you through, you click on the Draft with Copilot icon that pops up when you're highlighting anything at the moment in Word and other Microsoft apps. This then opens the menu that you can see in the red box in the screenshot, and there's loads of powerful options here where Copilot can help strengthen or improve your writing as well. But it also includes the Fix All Spelling and Grammar option. Click it and it'll start to process and sort through the errors. The time it takes to make these corrections is going to vary depending on the amount of text and the amount of corrections to be made. So settle in if you're going to do a lengthy document. I'd personally probably recommend doing it in section by section, just in case you don't actually agree with some of the changes, and then you don't want those changes to slip through into the final version when they're no longer highlighted. It's another thing to note here that I've only been able to access this feature while using the web version of Word, and from reading the update, it suggests that the rollout is solely for the web version. So it may not be entirely helpful for everyone right at this stage, but you always have the option to open your Word documents in the browser version from your File Explorer, SharePoint, Microsoft Teams. So if you want to try this out, you could try opening up some files and giving it a go that way. This feature is currently being rolled out, so it may be the case that not everyone has access to it quite yet, but it has been rolling out since the end of May. So make sure to go onto the web version of Word and try it out and see if Copilot can help you out. And if you're a regular in this webinar, you'll know how much I appreciate updates across the different versions of Microsoft apps, as it creates a more consistent user experience for all of us. So I'm really hoping that this feature will soon be rolled out to the other versions of Word as well, and even to some of the other apps as well. As somebody's asking if it's going to be available in OneNote, I would hope that down the line, Copilot will have the same features across all versions of all apps within the Microsoft space. So fingers crossed. Okay, next up, let's have a little look at SharePoint. So SharePoint has a new process for adding videos to pages, which ensures that your audience of said videos has the correct permissions to be able to view them. So if you add a video to a SharePoint page or post, and that video is stored in a location with different permissions than the page it's on, then the page viewers may not be able to watch the video. And this update is aiming to prevent that from happening, as the page editor adds the video to the page using the file or media web part or the stream web part. So as you add videos to your page, you'll now see one or both of the dialog boxes that you see in the slide just now. Starting with the message on the left, you have two options. Create link. This option generates a sharing link that allows anyone within your organization to view the video. And don't create. Clicking this button, make sure that a sharing link is not created. Again, ensuring that the access remains restricted to users with existing permissions to access, view, edit, etc. And now the dialog on the right is very similar, but I'll still just talk you through it just now. So the copy option, this button copies the video to the site asset folder and creates a sharing link, meaning again that anyone within your organization should be able to view that video. Whereas the don't copy button, that leaves the video in its original location, meaning that, again, the only users with existing permissions to view it from that original folder will be able to see it. So, as I said, this update will hopefully smooth out the process of making SharePoint pages with videos. No more worrying about whether you've got the right permissions or that it's set on the right content. You'll get a reminder asking you which way you want to import the content. Now, at this stage, I'm not entirely sure how this will work for your current pages that contain videos within them, as the updates that I read didn't really clarify this one way or the other. But my best guess is, due to security reasons, you'll probably have to go and remove or reshare the videos on each page to be able to adjust the permissions as required. Perhaps it'll turn out to be a bit of a faff initially to go back and update all of these, and it's of course a bit of a shame that it's clearly been done retrospectively. However, I can see this just being nice quality of life, nice and helpful update in the long run for setting up these pages and posts. This feature should have rolled out by now, by the end of August just passed, but we're only a few days into September. So if you have some SharePoint pages that have any videos, then go and have a play around and get those permissions sorted. On to workflows in Microsoft Teams. Now, just in case you've never used workflows, I'll quickly give you an overview of what they are first. So workflows let you automate repetitive tasks or processes that connect one or more apps to the Teams app. And basically, they can save you time and effort little by little throughout the day. You can add workflows to your Teams sidebar by going to the plus button, apps, and then in the search bar, once you've clicked into that, type in workflows, and then click open or add to the Microsoft Corporation version. Now, I'll ask a few questions just now, and I just want you to answer them to yourself. And anytime you find yourself saying yes, this means that there could be an opportunity for you to increase your productivity using a workflow. They're a little bit vague, but just play along with me. Is there something that you do over and over again in Teams? Do you switch between Teams and other Microsoft 365 apps to check for updates or to complete your tasks? Do you ever copy and paste information from Teams into other apps? And are you getting app notifications through your email that you'd rather be getting through your Teams? So again, if you said yes to any of these, then there's an opportunity to explore and find a workflow that'll maybe save you a few minutes here or there every day. So as I say, lots of opportunities to try it out, especially if they're repetitive tasks. There's nothing worse than filling your day with those and not having time to do things that feel a bit more rewarding, I suppose. So what's the new update? Well, once you've got workflows in your Teams, you can click into it and you'll see a similar but older version of the screenshot that you can see here. Soon, you'll have a redesigned workflows experience in Microsoft Teams that is going to help simplify the automation process across Teams and other Microsoft 365 apps. Powered by Power Automate, it still lets you streamline tasks like scheduling messages and managing approvals in just a few clicks. But it should have a faster and more intuitive interface to build automations in Microsoft, say, 3 steps or fewer. Here are some of the highlights that Microsoft listed that's coming with the redesign that I'll talk through just now. So you can expect a streamlined user interface that works across Teams chats, channels, and SharePoint lists and libraries. A redesigned template library for faster discovery of common or popular workflows, and I'll show you what that looks like just shortly. Natural language to flow capabilities that allow you to basically just describe what you want to automate, and then workflows will suggest the best solution to the best of its understanding for your needs. You can also expect a simple editor that simplifies the customization of these workflows. Again, leaning on the plain and natural language to describe what it is you're looking to automate or how you want to change it. Now, Microsoft add that under the hood, the new workflows experience is still powered by Power Automate, so you get the same enterprise-grade reliability, security, and extensibility that we've all come to trust. So this screenshot is of the home screen, which is just the first screen you'll get when you click into that Workflows app, and it lets you see current workflows that are active, can let you see your inactive workflows as well, maybe as a reminder to change them up or to edit it. And then there's also some suggested templates, as well as a search bar where, as I've said a few times, you're able to just describe what action you're looking to automate. And as I said, this is how the new templates catalog experience is going to look as well. So as you can see by the red box there, there's the 2 tabs at the top, the home page that I just showed you, and then click into templates, it'll give you this screen. And here you can browse through different categories, build a workflow from scratch, or again, use the search bar to describe what automation you're trying to create. This update looks like it should make it a lot more accessible for many of us, and it's set to become a lot more user-friendly. This is great, as it could help us all save a few minutes here and there every day, which, as I think we all know, really does add up in the long run. It's important to note here that this update is not going to impact existing workflows or internal compliance processes either. Now, honestly, I've not personally set up any workflows myself yet, but I think once this update lands, I'll certainly be interested to try it out and see if I can find myself any good time savers. And if I do, I'll be sure to share them with you guys. If any of you have used workflows, then of course, please let me know. I'm always keen to hear your experiences about using these apps and things as well, especially when I've not had the hands-on experience myself. And this update is due from October. So again, just got to keep our eyes peeled for this one. And that is us for today. So I just wanted to quickly let you know about the next webinar in this series that will be coming to you next month. So it'll be taking place on Thursday, the 9th of October, and you can register for that now on our website or through the link that my colleague has just posted into the chat box just now. We look forward to seeing you all there, and if there are any topics or questions that you wish for me to cover in the next webinar, then please just get in touch with me and I'll be happy to have a look. That should be the link in the chat just now. So if you want to make sure that you've at least got the event in your diary, please go ahead and register now. Remember, though, that all of these webinars are recorded and accessible through our YouTube channel and our website. So please make sure to go through them if you're interested in learning a bit more. And if you find them helpful, then please subscribe to the channel and make sure to share them with any of your friends and colleagues as well. I'll now just quickly take you through our stakeholder workshop that Bedroq run called the 8 Rocks Assessment. It goes back to those 8 rocks that I talked through right at the very beginning of this webinar. It's a stakeholder workshop designed to get consensus on your business priorities. It can be done face-to-face or virtually, and it gets your leaders and investors aligned behind the best way to fully assess your IT strategy. There are no cost implications with this other than just a mutual investment of time. So let's say you're an IT leader at your organization and you need a bit of backup to prove to the CFO that you want to make some further investments into your IT, or perhaps you're just looking at ways that you can better use your existing investments. Well, Bedroq are happy to look at all of these things. So please let us know if it's something that might interest you, and we'll be happy to set this up and introduce you to the team that will walk you through this process. We've got a few minutes for Q&A, so I'm just going to see if any others have come in and have a quick drink, and then we'll get into it. Is there a slides from this webinar? Yes, there's a fact sheet that I'll be sending out along with the recording of the video after when we finish up, basically. So it'll give you a bit of a rundown of the topics and some of the information that we talked through, as well as the recording, so you can see it, watch it in your own leisure. You can jump to certain parts or share it with your team as well. So hopefully that helps Andy. And that looks like that's everything that's come through today. So as always, if you have any more questions, perhaps that'll come to you while you're looking through the fact sheet later today, perhaps maybe when you're rewatching it, you'll just have a thought when you're trying out some of these features that I've talked through, then please feel free to reply to the email that I'll send out with the recording. I'm always happy to help with any queries about the content in this webinar or anything else, and we'll look to cover your suggestions in the future as well. And just a quick reminder about cybersecurity. If it's on your mind, if you want to talk to us and find out about a bit more about how we can support your organization to improve your cyber resilience, then please just reply to the email coming out later today. Or, as I said earlier, get in touch through our website as well. So again, thank you very much for joining us today, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Goodbye.